The weather observation room. This is the aerology building where the weather guys would provide updates to the weather as best they could. As you can see out the windows, it's pretty foggy today, and that's kind of normal for what folks had to deal with. So it's kind of a cooperative venture between the National Park Service and the Unalaska Corporation, where we both kind of manage the area. And so we're in the process of trying to fix up some of the bunkers up on top of Ballyhoo where the gun emplacements were.
We are atop of Ballyhoo Mountain, which is on Amaknak Island. We're at a location of a World War II ruin of a coastal battery station. These 8-inch coastal battery sites were used to guard the entrance to Onalaska Island in the city of Onalaska. As many of you may or may not know, during June 3rd and 4th of 1942, Unalaska was bombed twice by the Japanese aircraft carrier fleet that was just off Onalaska Island. This was a diversion during the major battle at Midway. They tried to draw the American aircraft carriers to the Aleutian Islands in defense of the Unalaska and other areas in the Aleutians, but were unsuccessful in doing that, and Unalaska was bombed twice but never invaded. During the following years, the military built up many fortifications on these islands, and today we are on one of the remnants of the coastal battery stations. There's 5 of these on this part of Ballyhoo Mountain, and their guns could go in 360-degree directions to guard the front entrance to Unalaska Bay, and also there is a back entrance into Unalaska Bay. So these guns were in various locations on the mountain to protect us from the Japanese fleet that was expected to invade during 1942. This was built to protect the back door into any kind of an invasion into the United States. The front door would be through California or the Washington, Oregon coast in California. The back way, which was basically uninhabited except for small native villages in the Aleutian Islands, would be coming in through the Aleutian Islands and then into the Anchorage area.
It's so exciting to be out here and see all these vessels that we saw earlier. There's the research vessel, the trawler, the container ships, but I'm real excited about looking for some of the birds. We've seen some gorgeous eagles, but there's so many more here. The cormorants, the albatross, the puffins, the eagles, so many wonderful bird species.
If you have the opportunity to come to Unalaska, this is a great place to come and visit. There's lots to see. There's lots of research you can do on the internet about the community. It's a one-of-a-kind vacation that you'll have, and we look forward to seeing you here.
I'm Nancy. I want to welcome you to Kodiak. My name is Julie Bonney, and I'm the president of the Marine Conservation Alliance. The Marine Conservation Alliance is a group of harvesters and processors that are dependent on the Alaska seafood industry to make a living. We believe in sustainable fisheries. We help with research. We live with catch limits so that we don't take more fish than the ecosystem will support. And we look forward to having fisheries a long time into the future. But there's a lot of other parts that come from a healthy marine ecosystem, and that's bear viewing, whale watching, birds, sports fishing, charter fishing. Since we have a healthy ecosystem, it means that we have a lot of wildlife and fun that can happen outside, which means we have a large tourist industry. Basically, Kodiak is, everything comes from the water. That's what makes the town go round. Probably 70% of our jobs are based on the fisheries.
We're here at the Thumb River in the Kodiak National Wildlife Refuge. In these 3,000 square miles, there's so much wildlife. Is it typical to be able to get so close to the red fox?
It's not unusual. They're more focused on feeding this time of year, and they're really not afraid of us or don't have much to worry about right now. We're standing at our wildlife viewing pad here on the Thumb River. This is where I take people almost every day throughout the summer to see bears, fox, eagle, deer. They all come here in anticipating the sockeye salmon run that comes up here at Thumb River and Thumb Lake. This whole Kodiak River system that surrounds us here is home to about 500,000 up to 700,000 sockeye salmon every year, and that's what draws all the animals. People come here and they photograph deer, bear, eagles, and really get to see a very beautiful place.
Jim, you found a red fox for us. Is this unusual?
No, it's not unusual, Nancy. The bears show up here in June and July with the coming of the sockeye salmon run, and so do the fox and the eagles and many other animals.
What is it eating?
I'm not sure what it's eating. It looks like it's eating on small fish right now. The sockeye salmon haven't arrived here yet, and he looks like he's eating on small fish, maybe some salmon fry or some small trout.
He doesn't seem too afraid of us.
No, they're not. They're very comfortable around us. There's many fox in this area here, and in my experience, they've always felt very comfortable just being around us throughout the day.
Now, it doesn't look red. It changes color?
We call it a red fox, but actually they come in many color phases. This fox in particular, the cross fox, is a mixture of the colors they come in. They also come in bright red, black, silver tip. They come in many different colors.
Do they have a large range?
Their range is pretty much where their food is. Well, they'll go just about to the glacial areas here throughout here, but they basically follow the food, and a lot of their food sources this time of year is down here in the river, scavenging pieces of fish that the bears leave behind. They're pretty much scavengers, so they'll work the shorelines of the rivers and lakes and eat whatever they can find.
And that fur keeps them warm with the cold water.
It does.
It's a beautiful animal. How long do they live?
They can live to be up to about 5 years old.
And this is a single animal. Do you think there are others around?
I think there's many others around. I was here a few days ago and I saw a litter of about 3 the other day, but typically they're a solitary animal.
To get to this viewing spot, we had to walk along some bear trails. That means there are bears in the neighborhood?
There's bears all around us. We can't really see them right now because of the vegetation. It gets very thick here in June and July when you get the rain and the sun and the long days put together. But they're all around us. There's a population of about 3,000 bears in Kodiak Island.
But they do enjoy the grasses, and we see some gorgeous flowers as well.
Yes, they'll feed on berries. They'll come here. They'll be grass eaters in June, and then when the sockeye salmon come here, of course, they start feeding on the fish. Afterwards, they'll head up into the hills surrounding us, and they'll start feeding on berries, salmon berries, blueberries, and their diet will become more of an omnivore diet, mixing the berries with the salmon. Also surrounding us are many, many bird species. We've got waterfowl that fly up and down the river. We have dippers, we have eagles. A lot of these birds here are actually here for the fish also. The bald eagles line up along the shoreline in the trees here. You'll see some nests here behind us.
Of course, the plant life is gorgeous. We're seeing some of the flowers at this time of the year.
We're a little early for many of the meadow flowers here. We actually get fireweed here later in the summer. It's a very beautiful place.
But the grasses are good eating for the bears.
It's mostly what they eat when they first come out of the dens. Before the salmon come here up Thumb River, they are grass feeders.
I enjoyed the float plane. To get here, we went across some lovely mountaintops. How high are they?
The tallest peaks in Kodiak, they're between 4,000 and 5,000 feet. Kodiak gets pretty close to 80 inches of rain a year, so this is one of those great days. Any day without rain in Kodiak's a great day.
And how high are these mountains that we're looking at?
The mountains surrounding us are generally 2,000 to 3,000 feet high. The tallest peaks in Kodiak are closer to 5.
The water's pretty cold though.
Very cold. This is all ice in the wintertime, and we're looking at ice melt mixed with rain.
You know, the moment I got here, I just started relaxing. It's so beautiful, it's so pleasant, it's so peaceful. Except for your camp on the other island, there's not much here. It's wild.
We're it. This is it. This is a very, very remote place. That's kind of the beauty of this particular spot here. We get to share it with very few people.
We're in a federal national wildlife refuge, but yet we're also on some native land.
Yes, the shoreline here is technically under the ownership of Kodiak Native Corporation, and they have a joint management agreement with U.S. Fish and Wildlife to manage the wildlife here and to have some input on development or non-development in this situation here.
Your company, True North, leads